chains getting broken. Made my bed and I dug my grave. You don't worry what the phone might say. I saw God 2008 been getting wilder, yeah, to this day. I got no shame in my face. I read threats and I give thanks. HGA, man, whatever it take on my name, that's my game. All day going psycho, on top of the Kiko. Man, just tryna go to psycho. You just tryna go viral. You tryna build you up an empire. Kicking more you on revivers. No, dust in the wind, let it blow away. Sun comes out, all the stars gotta go away. Heavy chains getting broken, and my weary heart's giving hope. Come exalt your name, exalt your name. Oh, my prison door swinging open, 'cause the enemy couldn't hold. Come exalt your name, exalt your name. Remember my God, what I wrote on my wheel. Break my bones, never break my seal. Take my home, you can take my deal. Feel with the ghost, so I stay what I feel. We don't talk, try to make it to the top. Get there, find God, holding that spot. I work hard and I'm good what I got. I'm a rapper when the doctor said that I wouldn't talk. Cold as the windshield. 13, I was thrown through a windshield. Every day that I'm still here. You can be Lord, I can be still. Need you more if I'm paying my bills. Need no picture, come give me no chills. Give me your face, Lord, give me your will. Addicts get free and the soul get healed. In this mud, tryna OD. My freedom, your glory. When it's going left, you know bleed. Still doing what you told me. Putting all the pieces back together. You will not forget the son you called me. Know you wrapping up the story. All my heavy chains getting broken, and my weary heart's giving hope. Come exalt your name, exalt your name. All my prison doors swinging open, 'cause the enemy couldn't hold. Come exalt your name, exalt your name. All my heavy chains getting broken, and my weary heart's giving hope. Come exalt your name, exalt your name. All my prison doors swinging open, 'cause the enemy couldn't hold. Come exalt your name, exalt your name.
I've been waiting in the water. It's getting hot.
Good evening. My name's Andy Moffat, and I'm your host for This is a Serious Podcast on this April 30th, 2022. Dogs are better. That's all I can say. Dogs are better.
That is why
What?
I don't own a cat.
Yeah, that cat gave her some real smacks, eh? Play it again. Shoot that up there again.
Yeah.
That looked like it was green screened.
Did you think so?
Like watch around her neck. Watch it. Like there's
No,
a,
that's not green screen.
no.
Look at that whack, whack, whack. Like this, like, hey.
Like right around the side of her head there. It's almost like faded.
That's like, hey, you suck at makeup. Stop it or something.
Or you're not paying attention to me.
Yeah.
Smart enough, pay attention to me. Yeah. Have you seen those videos online with Labradors where they say basically the idea is what happens when you ignore your Labrador?
Uh-huh.
I guess labs hate being like, if they're in the room and you're sitting there and you're not looking at them and not paying attention to them, they start to kind of get whiny and whimpery. Like, oh, pay attention to me. There's all kinds of them, of these, what happens when you ignore your lab.
I think it definitely depends on, like, the way you treat your dog, though, as well. Like, if you just give them a lot of attention all the time, then they expect attention all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Oh, there's Mom Rooks. Grandma Rooks is on the chat. Hi, Grandma Rooks. Jenny won't be on the chat tonight. She's at a wedding shower for Nisha Williams.
Ah.
So there you go. Well, welcome to the podcast. It's good to have all of you here. What's been going on? Hey, there are some interesting facts about, well, let's talk. First of all, Elon Musk bought Twitter.
I heard about
That's
that.
old news now. You heard about that? Everybody's heard about
yeah.
that. That's old news.
Crazy.
$44 billion.
Yeah. I really don't. I made a Twitter account shortly after it first came out. I think I went on twice. Kenton Christofferson followed me. I tried to follow him. I never really knew how it worked. I've never been back. So there's, I'm probably being used to enable terrorist activities now, my Twitter account, because I don't remember what my handle was. I don't remember what my password was. It's just dead. But people who didn't like the way Twitter was are all excited about it, and people who are like, Twitter's the best thing ever, are all anti-excited about it. Like, they're all like, it's the worst thing that a billionaire would own this. Is like, who owns Facebook?
Exactly.
Who owns the government? Who's running for who's in governmental power? They're all billionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyways, there we go. So, yeah. Good. Hey, on this date, April 30th, throughout history, on this date, I forgot to put the year in, but A Tale of Two Cities was first published by Charles Dickens. It was first published, and it was in a periodical, a literary periodical, so like a magazine. And it was done by installments, week by week, from this date, from April 30th, and the last installment was put in on November 26th. Wow. So once a week, he would put in chapters or portions.
That's crazy.
My sister is she was an English major. She graduated with her English degree from UBC, and she was telling me that he got paid by the word.
Oh, wow.
So she said, if you're ever reading like you read one book of Dickens and it seems fairly normal or whatever, and then you read another and you're like, boy, he's really flowery and verbose in this book.
Yeah.
That's because he's getting paid by the word. He's milking it for all he can get.
You could drain the money out of them.
yeah, that's
crazy.
Probably like
2
cents a word or something.
Well, who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Counts,
but that's how he was making his money. 1952, Mr. Potato Head is the first toy advertised on television.
Really?
So the first time a toy was advertised on television was 1952 on April 30th, and it was Mr. Potato Head.
Huh.
That's good stuff. I never had a potato head, but some of my friends did. They were the kind of toy that were like, yeah, okay, that's fun for about 5 minutes, and then it was like, whatever.
They're kind of pointless, but they're also kind of timeless.
It's sentimental.
They're still around. They're all over the place now.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just Potato Head or whatever because they took out the genders.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can't have Mr. or Mrs. Okay. In 1987, New York Islanders' Mike Bossy plays his final game. He was a prolific scorer in the NHL. He's a Canadian guy, and he just died this past week.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't know about that.
And then this is in the 1988, the 33rd Eurovision Song Contest. Celine Dion won for Switzerland singing Ne partez pas sans moi in Dublin, Ireland. And that song, the title of the song is Don't Leave Without Me. Does anything strike you as odd about that statement?
A
Well,
lot.
it's a French.
Yeah,
That's
isn't
French, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah,
not,
yeah, but
that looks
but
like French? She's singing for Switzerland in Dublin, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of different countries there.
Celine Dion is a Canadian.
That's
Switzerland
right.
asked her to sing for them and represent them, even though she's got no ties to Switzerland. They're like, we want you, and so she sang for them and won. And the Eurovision, the contest site was held in Dublin. So
Well, because she wouldn't have been able to compete otherwise, because it's European competition only,
Yeah.
isn't it?
yeah, it's just Europe. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. So they said, let's call in a ringer, and they called in Celine Dion.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So there you go. And the song was Ne partez pas sans moi. I just butchered the French. Ne partez pas sans moi.
Yeah, I
Don't
didn't-
leave without me.
I didn't even know if you were going to try and pronounce that because I
That's
wouldn't
kinda
know
like-
where to start.
I wonder what "Wake Me Up Before You Go is in French, because that's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't leave without. Wake me up before you go. Google translate that. Wake me up before you go. See what it comes up as.
Me up before you go in French.
Réveille-moi avant de partir.
So partir.
That would be a beautiful song.
They probably don't. The go. They probably doesn't.
I wonder how it's.
Réveille-moi avant de partir.
I didn't get any of that.
Oh.
Réveille-moi avant de partir.
Réveille-moi avant de partir. Wake me up before you go.
That's better than the actual song right there. That's what they should have put in. They should have put in Google Translate saying it too.
When
Would've
I
been
was in grade
fantastic.
7, going to the the junior high dances, that song was popular.
Wake me up before
Yeah,
you
there you go.
Well, the fact that everyone knows it now means
Oh yeah.
it was very popular.
Yeah, that's right. All right, question of the night. Oh, we're going to do the question of the night. We got a video introduction for the question of the night. It's based on the student clip that we did last night. An interesting debate came up. So
Here we go. If I can find the right setting.
here we go. So this came up at youth group last night.
I mean, Goofy is a cow. I mean,
what's
we live in a...
No, he's a dog.
No, I googled it. He's a cow.
He's a dog.
He is a cow.
Cows do not have floppy ears.
How could a dog walk a dog? And Pluto is a dog, so how could another dog walk
He's a
dog?
cow.
No.
I always thought Goofy was a dog.
I thought Goofy was a dog. I thought the same thing. Childhood dreams.
Are we really gonna start questioning the logic?
Answer me this. Is Goofy a dog or a cow? So that's the question of the night. What do you think? Is Goofy a dog or a cow?
No, I always thought he was a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
I was
a dog.
like certain
I'm
of
gonna
it.
Google it.
Yeah, I was just
Well,
about
let's
to
see
do
what
the
people
same.
say. Let's don't
Yeah.
Google it and then kill. Let's see if anybody else. Oh, it's just Grammar Rooks on the chat so far. But what do you think, Grammar Rooks? Dog or cow?
I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Definitely a dog.
I always thought a dog, but
I think it's a dog. He's a dog.
I mean the face.
it's a dog. He's not a he. It's a dog.
Like in the Goofy movies, he was always hanging out with dogs. Like there wasn't ever any cows. Like when his son
Listen.
goes to college or anything. But I
Let's
don't know.
let's just be honest.
Oh my
Cows
goodness.
can be dogs too, and
They
dogs can be cows.
They can.
They
Oh.
can today.
Well, I figured out the answer.
What is it?
Well, here's what Google
Grammar
says.
Rook
Oh, you
says-
Googled it.
Grammar Rook says dog for sure.
Well, Grammar Rooks should know.
She is right. I think it's a dog.
It's a dog.
Google says that he's an anthropomorphic dog.
Anthropomorphic. Yeah.
I'm not going to say that anymore. Anthropomorphic.
Yep.
we go.
Anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic means humanized. So, what's the other dog?
Pluto.
Pluto. So Pluto is
Non-
dog, right? Like he
Right.
barks, he doesn't talk. But Goofy is anthropomorphized. He's made to be like human. So's Daffy,
Huh.
so's Mickey and Minnie, so's Donald.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's made to be like human, but he is a dog. Yeah.
I wonder if we could breed an anthropomorphic dog.
No, you couldn't. But you
Oh,
know,
wait, yeah,
all
no,
the
I'm
more
not
power
gonna-
to you as you try.
No, I don't think But
think
imagine
that-
if there was a
that's-
breed of dog that was like part human. That like
No,
human
just
human
stop.
attributes, right?
That's Dr. Moreau's Island, Ben. Have you not taken English in school? Do they not teach you anything these days
You
anymore?
see, that's not
Don't
what
you
I was
know
thinking
what happens?
in my mind.
Did you know what happens?
I was thinking in my mind like just dogs that are like that can speak. That'd just be kind of weird.
Have you seen The Far Side, where this guy's got finally Dr. So-and-so's dog interpreter device is working, and he's got this big thing on his head that interprets dogs, what they're saying, and
Oh, it's
every
like
dog
Up.
on the street is barking, going, "Hey, hey, 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 hey!" That's it. Every dog, doesn't matter what it is. Hey, 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 hey.
I mean, that's kind of like Brian from Family Guy. We probably don't endorse that TV show, but
No, we don't.
he's the same thing.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's like Up, what you were just talking about with the dogs with their collars.
Yeah.
They speak through the collars.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like if somebody could actually invent that,
Yep.
I would
Well,
probably
there
get
was
a
an
dog.
app, wasn't there, that like translated human to dog? So you would speak into your phone, and then they would say what it was in dog, and then there was actual videos where it seemed like the dog reacted to
Oh.
what the human had actually
I don't
said.
know.
I doubt it's true.
Very
but-
Have you seen the videos
that
on
works.
YouTube where they have buttons on the
Oh,
floor
no.
that dogs can
Oh,
press?
yeah.
It's the
And
craziest thing ever.
each button has a different little phrase.
Mhm.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dogs talk about themselves in third person and everything, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. They'll be like,
Yeah.
Skippy, go out.
Yeah.
Skippy, play. It's really sweet.
I'd still eat a dog in Korea, though. I'm just saying that.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. Okay. Moving on. Question of the night. We're done. Goofy as a dog. Student clip. So this is going to tie into our humor bit a little bit later on. But our student clip, here we go.
Well, here we are at youth group Friday night, and here you are on Saturday night at This Is a Serious Podcast. We're going to ask the kids a question tonight and see what the answer they give. It's a would you rather. It's a would you rather question. So I think it's probably up on the screen. If I've had time to edit, the question is probably up on the screen. So here we go. We're going to ask some questions. All right. Well, one question. One question. Here we go. All right, boys. How's it going? Good. Would you rather have a Jurassic Park that's actually real, and let's presume that it's safe, but a real Jurassic Park, or would you rather have them build more Disney worlds around the world and closer to you?
Jurassic Park. I think a real Jurassic Park.
Well, Jurassic Park, that's so cool.
All right, Mirvan, what do you want to do?
More Disney World.
More Disney World. Okay, and Jurassic Park.
I'm gonna have to go with the Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park.
I would rather Jurassic Park.
Who said Jurassic Park? Why would you want to go to Why would you rather have Jurassic Park?
Because I grew up with dinosaurs.
You grew up with dinosaurs? How old are you?
Really old. She's elderly.
How old are your parents?
Even older.
I have suspicions about your dad.
Yeah, me too. He's like.
All right. What do you think?
Neither.
Neither? What would you rather have then?
I don't know.
You don't know, but neither. What do you want to do?
The characters the dinosaurs.
Just so you're all clear, Mercedes said that she would rather feed the Disney World characters to the dinosaurs.
I wouldn't blame her.
Now, she looks sweet and innocent, but I don't know. I don't know. You don't know, but neither.
Yeah.
You have no interest in either. You don't want to ride on the back of a brontosaurus?
No, I really don't.
You don't want to cuddle with a velociraptor as it chews off your arm? All right. All right, it's safe.
All right. So that was our Would You Rather. That will feature in our bit a little bit later on. But here we go. We have a fun interview here. I think, well, it's fun for me. It's going to be great. This is good. So here we have John and Jackie Rice. Jackie Rice was a member of the youth group. When did you graduate?
2003.
2003?
Yeah.
That's the year Ben was born.
I know.
He's 18 now.
I know.
He's about to turn 19 in September.
I was sad when Jacob graduated because that meant I was old. I used to babysit Jacob. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's right. So, and you were in grade 8 when I came.
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome. So grade 8 through grade 12 in 2003 you graduated. That's wild. So that's fun. And her husband John.
Yo.
John grew up in the area as well. We're going to get to a little bit about that. So yeah. So where did you each grow up? You didn't where did you each grow up?
I grew up on a farm 6 miles west of town.
What's your last name?
Rice.
Rice.
The one and only.
The one and only Rice. So Rice's Coulee is named after your family.
It is, correct.
Yep. Is there a toll? Have you ever set up a toll booth? The Rice's toll booth?
Should have. I would have been a millionaire by now.
yeah, that's right. That's good. And Jackie?
So half of my young life was in Calgary, and then the other half was in Olds.
Right. And where in Calgary?
The northeast end of Calgary.
Which subdivision?
Mayland Heights.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that big apartment building, Mayland Terrace?
No.
It was like when you were on 16th heading out of town.
Yeah.
And Mayland was on your right. There's a big apartment building there. For 2 months, I worked as a security guard in that building.
Well, there you go.
Yep, that's crazy. Good. And so when did you move to Olds? What grade? Were you in like grade 6 when you moved to Olds?
Yep. It was the summer before grade 6.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And how was that as a move?
It seemed like the end of the world at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know how country town people lived, and I thought moving from a city to the town was going to be awful.
And now you are one of those country town
people. And I would never go back to the city.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And John, you've been, I mean, you guys live in Red Deer during the week.
Yeah.
But like you were born and raised the whole way through in small town. Were you desperate to get out, or were you happy?
I did want to get off the farm for a little while, and just the job, the career path I chose took me up to Red Deer, so
yeah,
it only made sense to move up there instead of doing the drive from Olds to Red Deer.
Yeah.
Every day.
And you guys both went to school at the Olds High School.
Yep.
Yeah, the old building.
In 2003 and before it was. And John, you're a couple years older.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you guys both graduated when it was still in the old building.
When the ceiling tiles would fall on your head in the middle of math class.
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually happened?
Yes, to one of the kids in my math class. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I've lived here long enough now that I can give people directions based on landmarks that no longer exist. That's when you know you've lived in a town long enough. You're like, well, yeah, you go by the old brick. Oh yeah, the old brick. Or you turn at the new road that's by where the old high school was. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You've been around for a while.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents went to school there too.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had some of the same teachers as my mom.
Did you? That's crazy.
If anybody knows Heilman, he was the main one.
Who's that?
Heilman.
No, I didn't know that.
He was a grade 9 teacher.
Okay.
I had him.
Tom Christensen's retiring this year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he was at that school for 38 years. So 38 years, you could have. I wonder if he's got grandkids. Like if he's taught grandkids, from some of his first students, right? Like student in his first year who might have grandkids now that have graduated in the last couple. I wonder if that's possible.
That'd be crazy.
If I see him, I'll ask him if I remember.
Yeah.
I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah. On Facebook, they're talking about him a bit, and people are like, he looks the same. Like the guy hasn't aged apparently. Jerk. All right. That's good. So how did you guys meet? 2 years older. What's the story? Grade 10, 12s don't hang out with grade 10s?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't date Jackie while I was still in high school. I didn't start chasing after her till, I think a year or a couple years after I finished high school.
Yeah.
Me and her brother were pretty good friends. So.
Are you still?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
At least I think we are. I mean, we don't hang out the same way we used to, but
yeah, sure.
I mean, we grew up, but yeah, Jackie was always there when I was at Kyle's house or his parents' house at the time. So kind of just developed a friendship, and
yeah.
I don't know if you want to add anything, give her.
Now,
that's how I put it too. So.
Oh, really? I was gonna say you didn't have it all planned out, Jackie, and have it all figured out, and.
No, I was more of the mind that I figured all my brother's older friends just thought of me as his younger sister and couldn't bother to give me the time of day. So,
right.
Yeah, I never ever expected anything to come out of it.
Until that first time when John said, "Hey,
yeah,
do you want to go to 7-Eleven together?"
It was a little better than that, I think.
Yeah, it was mostly just like, "Bye, Jackie." It was like, wow, he knows I exist.
That's good. That's great. Good. And what are you guys doing for work?
I'm a full-time sheet metal worker, so like that entails heating, venting, air conditioning, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday, and then the Bison is the weekend stuff.
Bison. So Bison, Buffalo, they're not quite the same thing, are they? Or
I mean, if you want the dictionary definition, they're not the same, but we're pretty much westernized Buffalo to mean bison, so they can, either one can be used.
Yeah. Okay. And how many head do you have?
I don't know. We keep adding, so I think we're at 34, 32 maybe, and then there's been a few calves so far.
Nice.
This year.
Nice. And what's the goal with the bison?
Well, first off is to get my mom and dad to retire, so hopefully we can make money with the bison to force them into retirement and have them sit and enjoy their old age and their grandkids. And then secondly, I'd like to get out of construction.
Yeah.
Been doing it for
and do it full time.
A while. So yeah, bison would be, I think, a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Okay, cool. And Jackie, what are you doing these days?
I guess my official title is a data tech, but it's basically just office administrative work.
Okay. And you've been with the same company for just a little bit of time, haven't you?
Yeah, just a little. So basically after I graduated, I started as a summer student in 2004.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
18 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Full time in 2010, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's in Red Deer.
Yeah. In Gasoline Alley is where our office is. So.
It hasn't always been there though.
No, it used to be up in the north and in the industrial area.
So where is it in Gasoline Alley?
So kind of is it a Toyota dealership?
Yeah.
You know where that is, kind of like tucked in a little bit behind
like
Costco and the
yeah.
movie theater.
Yeah.
And then if you just go like a block further west, then where like the office building's kind of in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And John, is your sheet metal company, is that in Red Deer, or did it used to be in Lacombe?
It's always been in Lacombe. They used to have a shop in Red Deer, but that was just for storage. But yeah,
okay.
Been in Lacombe for
nice. That's not too far for you then to Lacombe.
No, and I got a company truck, so it doesn't bother me to drive.
Nice. All right. What is something cool about Buffalo that maybe people don't know?
Probably most people don't know that I don't know if it's just wintertime or if it's all the time, but they grow 7 different types of hair.
Really? 7 different types of hair?
I couldn't name them all, and I don't know what each one looks like, but that's what I've read about them anyways.
They grow 7 different types of hair. And what have you is that also what you've come across? The next question is something you've come across that was unexpected. Does that fit that, or has you got something else?
depends on if you mean unexpected as something I didn't know or something I didn't see coming.
Whatever. Give me one of each if you've got them.
I've been bluff charged a few times already.
So they come at you and
They'll
then
come
stop?
at you and they stop like 6 to 12 inches short of your person. So I learned quickly that you can't just walk in.
You don't trust a
among them.
bison.
Yeah, you can't turn your back.
No.
They're
So
not
they
like cattle.
They're not like cattle. So they kind of have a more of a wild mindset. They're not so tame.
Like I'll go up to them maybe across the fence and behind a post, but I wouldn't walk among them ever again. Now.
Wow. I imagine. I mean, that's a big head with a no neck. like they could toss you a fair away, I imagine.
Yeah, like if you've seen the videos of people getting thrown around by bison in wild bison in parks, national parks.
No, I haven't. I'm going to tonight though.
It's the same. It'd be the same thing, except we'd probably be hung up on a fence somewhere instead of hitting the ground.
Crazy. All right. John, were you involved in youth group at school when you were in school?
I went to youth group at Garrington Community Church from 14 to 17. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They've got a good youth group going right now, apparently. They got a good little thing going.
My older brother and my sister-in-law are the leaders there.
They've been involved with that for quite some time, haven't they?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, good for them. That's cool. And was it a good experience for you? And
yeah, I enjoyed it, and then kind of broadened my friend group when in high school, so I kind of dropped off the radar at youth group and started hanging out with my high school friends a little more. But
was Ronnie Ross at that youth group?
Yeah, he attended for quite a while.
Yeah, Ron Ross. I think of him as the funniest man alive.
I haven't. Yeah, I mean, we don't get to see him as often, but
yeah,
you guys were like you've known each other since birth.
There's never been a time when I haven't known him.
Yeah,
I guess. We've been around each other that long. We went and started kindergarten together.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Cool. And Jackie, what do you remember about youth group?
It was a lot smaller than it seems to be anymore.
Yeah.
I think like when we got over 6 people on a night, that was pretty good.
That was way back when we had junior high on Friday night and senior high on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we'd get 15 or 20 junior highs and we'd get 6 to 8, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Senior highs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have an event that you didn't like?
I wouldn't say I couldn't think of anything when I was attending youth group.
Yeah.
But when I was helping out with youth group, I just remember this one event. We had like no ideas, and I think you went to the dollar store and bought just some balls with like little brains in them with wrapped in fluid, and they were squishy.
Yeah.
And we went out in the parking lot and you just threw them at the kids and were like, try to get the brains out of the balls or something. And they spent the whole night just chasing these balls around. Like,
yeah.
It seemed like the weirdest.
But they had a riot.
They loved that event. And I thought, this is the worst event ever. Yeah.
And they loved it.
They loved it.
Do you know what? Do you know what that evolved into? We call it Make a Mess Night.
Okay.
And we go out into the parking lot, and it takes different forms depending on who's running it each year. But we do like dry ice bombs, and we've got a big tube, a PVC tube that we'll throw dry ice bombs down and then throw balls on it and send them up. And we've done Fruit Ninja with it and all kinds of crazy stuff with it. That's the very first one. I remember that.
Is that the one where they try to put that couch through that hoop too?
Yeah. Yeah, that's making a mess
yeah,
night.
that's
So you
true.
take the smallest kid that's wearing a belt and you take his belt off. We've done it through hula hoops and stuff, but you create a circle and then you got to get a chair, like a stuffed chair or a couch, rip it apart to get it through that circle into the dumpster. Yeah, we've done that. It's been a little while since we've done that, but yeah, that's good. Do you remember anything else or an event that stands out as one that you enjoyed?
I guess this was like the event that it lasted. I think we started early in the morning. It lasted like late at night. You know the one.
I totally know the one.
It was like 10 events packed into one day.
Would that have been like 36-hour famine or
No,
something?
no. This was a 1-day thing.
Yeah, so we went down to Calgary. We went to the Mustard Seed and we had a tour, right?
Yeah, and we wrapped gifts too, didn't we?
I can't.
And had a tour.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Then we went to Peter's for lunch.
Yeah.
Then we went and saw, it was around Christmas time, so we went and saw The Grinch in the theater.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we had like some banquet that we were doing. We were serving the guests for like a fundraiser.
Yeah, it was a missions banquet it was that missions organization that Kelsey Ford went with a couple of times.
Okay, yeah.
And what was the anyways, they had a banquet at Foothills Alliance and they needed a youth group to kind of serve the food and do the dishes and stuff, and they paid us for that.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster.
Yeah, well, because I think we locked the vehicles or the car keys in one of the vehicles.
How very kind of you to say we. Because as I recall, it was me. Yeah, we were all supposed to wear dark pants and a white shirt.
Yeah.
Like white top. And I locked the keys in the Suburban. And everybody's stuff was in there.
Yeah.
Because we didn't wear our stuff all day because we were doing so many different things.
Yeah.
And it took them like 3 hours to get the AMA to get there.
Yeah.
And coming up the hill in Edgemont, that part of the city, coming up the hill, it blew the one of the transmission hoses or coolant hoses. And so I'm total mechanical idiot. I called AMA to help me with that as well and tow the vehicle, and we had to call up to Olds and get some people to come down and pick us up. And it was Abambola's Suburban, so he came down. It was an easy fix. Ben Trice, stay on up if you want.
No, I'm just saying hi.
Okay, hi Ben. And then that took forever. And that night, cleaning the dishes that night was
because we didn't even
wreck.
know we had to do the dishes. I think that was an add-on.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but it was so much fun. It was,
It's one of those ones, there were bits about it that were fun all the way, and then the disaster parts you look back and you just giggle about.
Yeah.
That's when, remember, that's the bop, the Hanson brothers. Didn't I say, I made like a total old man statement where I was like, oh yeah, you kids and your bop. Wasn't that the one?
Totally, yes.
Oh geez,
man.
It's hilarious. I remember one of the other things you talk about, we had such a small group at that time. You can do some really neat things with a small group. Do you remember there was a few times where you're like, what are we doing tonight? Do you guys want to, no, I'm not real excited about the game. And we just, okay, let's pack up into the vehicles, maybe 2 vehicles. And we would drive down to Calgary to Peters.
Yeah.
Go through the drive-through, and then we'd drive along, what's it called, Crescent Road or whatever it is. Where the nice big houses there that overlook Memorial Drive and the river and the city. And we'd just drive around looking at the houses as we ate our Peters.
Yeah.
And we just talk and kibitz and good times.
Good times.
Yeah. Good. Well, that's my last question. That's
all right.
my last question. I'm going to turn it over to Ben, and he's going to lead you through the Would You Rather. And I think the first question is the same as the one that was on the video. So that was fun.
All right. I'm back. Okay. So, would you rather questions? So the first one, pretty self-explanatory. It was in the video. Would you rather have a real Jurassic Park or more Disneylands that are closer to you? Or actually, it says Disney Worlds.
Yeah.
Disney World is better.
Pretty similar.
I would go with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I think I'd go Jurassic Park too.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as that video came up, Jurassic Park would be awesome. All right. Would you rather have James Earl Jones or, I'm going to mess up the pronunciation, Arnold Schwarzenegger voice your GPS? I think I got it.
Yeah, that was good. I'd go with James Earl Jones.
Ditto. Yeah. James Earl Jones for me too.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, because then everything is so intense. Exactly. Every turn that you take, he's
at
like,
the stoplight, turn right.
Exactly. Yes. It would just make driving so much fun. Listen to the Macarena or Achy Breaky Heart non-stop for a month.
Macarena.
I think I'm going to go Achy Breaky Heart. Yeah.
But the Macarena is so good, though.
I don't know Achy
Macarena's
Breaky Heart,
got
so I'm going with that one.
dance moves to go with it at least.
Exactly. Like,
okay, yeah.
You could dance for a month straight to Macarena.
That is true.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting month. All right, next up. Would you rather have people commit less crimes or pollute the environment less?
I'll go with commit less crimes.
Yeah, I would say the same. Commit less crimes.
I mean, we're asking country people this. I would have to say honestly, commit less crimes too, because a lot of pollution and stuff. It's not done with malicious intent, whereas crimes, a lot of that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I think just taking away those crimes, that'd be pretty cool. And this next one could be how we stop those crimes. Would you rather have the Transformers or the Power Rangers save the Earth?
Transformers.
Definitely,
for sure,
yeah.
The Power Rangers are kind of creepy.
Yeah, I agree. And Bumblebee is so cool.
Oh, just
I
Optimus
like
Prime walking around?
Oh yeah,
That would be sick.
Yeah,
But-
the Power
Or
Rangers
the
are kind of
Dinobots,
lame.
having them running around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I remember like the first ever, as a kid, one of the first few toys that I got was like this Transformer Bumblebee as a Camaro, I think. No, that would have been quite a while down the line. Anyways, I got this Transformer Camaro Bumblebee. I hadn't seen the movies or anything. I just had the toy. And I thought this was the coolest car ever. And I loved the yellow and the racing stripes and all that. And I've watched like one of the movies. But still, like, there's this little special place in my heart for Bumblebee. Even though I don't like Camaros or anything, it's just for Bumblebee. All right. Would you rather? Hold up.
Yeah, no, read the question you got. I forgot
All
to
right.
change it on the slide.
All right. So it's not the question on the slide. But would you rather see Saved by the Bell or Student Bodies have a comeback?
Andy, you put that one in for me.
I totally did.
I'll go with Student Bodies.
Saved by the Bell.
I haven't seen either of them.
So when I started in Olds, when Jenny and I moved here, we started October 1st, but we didn't get possession of our house until November 1st, and we stayed at the Lytles. And one of the very first days I came home from work to the Lytles place, and Jackie and her friend Deanna Michelis were watching TV, and it was this TV show called Student Bodies, right?
Yeah.
Which was basically, wasn't it just basically a ripoff of Saved by the Bell?
Yeah,
like the
basically.
New generation, like the next kind of generation of that or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I teased you guys a lot about that, didn't
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I'd even heard of Student Bodies before. That's kind of cool, though.
Don't feel bad. I've never heard of it either.
I think I've heard of Saved by the Bell, but I don't even, like, I couldn't reference anything of it.
That's where my buddy Screech got his nickname from, because he looks like Screech from Saved by the Bell.
I have to search him up.
Away, eh?
Yeah, I heard about that.
The actor who played Screech.
Oh, interesting. But now I'll have to look him up to see what your friend looks like.
It's strikingly similar. Like, they do look like.
That's weird.
Give her a whirl.
That's awesome. All right. Would you rather have a stuffed nose or a sore throat for the rest of your life? Wow. Yikes.
Sore throat.
I think stuffed nose.
I would agree. Stuffed nose.
Well, a sore throat you could still taste. With a stuffed nose, you're not going to taste anything.
That is
Oh,
true.
and and you can't breathe when you eat for the rest of your
You
life.
have to breathe with your mouth. You're going to be a mouth breather.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dry mouth. Then you'd end up with a sore throat.
A sore
anyways.
throat, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
really
man.
thought that one through.
Oh, just
Wow. Yeah. Now I want to change my answer.
No takebacks.
All right. Would you rather make one person's dreams come true or buy lunch for 10 starving kids?
I'm going to be heartless, but I think making one person's dreams come true is better than giving hope to 10 starving kids for like a few hours and they're not going to have a meal again. So
That's
I
a
think
good
I'll
point.
go with the first one there, making one person's dreams come true.
You put too much thought into this.
Sorry.
I was going to go with the buying lunch for the 10 starving kids.
Well, I was going to say, what if that one person dreamt of a world without hunger?
Oh.
Ooh, and then nobody was starving.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
There you go.
there's so many ways you could look at it. And there's so many different scenarios. This one's pretty easy. Would you rather get spray cheese stuck in your hair or on your hands?
Well, a little bit of backstory. I got this, it's almost like a fear of getting sticky anything on my hands. So it just makes me like, as far as like, sorry for being crude, but it makes me almost vomit if I see somebody with sticky hands or
Oh, wow.
even myself. So I would go with the cheese stuck in my hair.
And I'd rather it stuck on my hands.
That's so gross.
I completely understand the hands thing and like hating having, like, I cannot stand when my hands are dirty. I was out working on my car today and I touched behind one of my wheels. I had just washed my wheels and there was just a little bit of brake dust back there and it was all wet and I got like a whole line of just like soaking wet goop down my arm. And right away I was like, oh, I got to wash this. Cause like, what if I touch my face? What if I touch my hair? You know, so many things like that. But the thing is, like, now with my hair as it is, James is laughing. I already hate washing it. Like, okay,
I don't blame you.
it has to be done, but I hate washing it, and I hate sitting there in the shower just. But if there was cheese in there, and I was trying to get that out there, I would hate that.
Agreed.
This is the question where we really find out who these people are.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Yeah, I picked up the card for this and I read the bottom one first. I'm like, what on earth? Would you rather garter snakes on little old ladies at a picnic or wake up your grandparents by banging pots and pans?
So you know what? I'm going to go with the wake up your grandparents by banging pots and pans because they both wore hearing aids and took them out at night. So they really wouldn't, like, it probably wouldn't bother them at all. It wouldn't be the noise. It would just be me being creepy in their room.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be the way to go.
That's a good point.
Well, my grandparents, when I was a kid, I was terrified of both my grandfathers. They were both pretty gruff men. So I think that being said, I'd rather just throw garter snakes on the little old ladies.
Yeah, if I don't know the little old ladies, then I can live with that because I don't have to see them ever again.
James the psychopath. Yeah, you know, okay, my grandparents are so nice. I couldn't do that to them. And like, I'm sure these little old ladies are nice, but there's a part of me that just wants to pick up snakes and just toss them at random people. Like, doesn't matter if they're old or not.
Could you imagine throwing garter snakes on Darlene Manchinsky and Betty Evans?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on. Darlene and Betty.
But honestly,
Really?
I'd throw garter snakes at anybody. Like, it could be a newborn baby, and I'd be hucking them away.
I mean, garter snakes are harmless, but still at the same time, they're kind of gross.
Yeah, they are gross. I wouldn't want to touch them, but I'd throw them. I'd throw them at people. Anyways, that looks like all the Would You Rathers we've got. Thanks for playing Would You Rather.
All right.
No problem.
Great. Get out of my chair. Oh, I'm getting kicked out now. Great. John and Jackie, thank you for joining us. You are welcome to stay in the studio if you want, or you can head on home. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Have a great night, you guys. It was fun. All right, here we are. Time for the Devo debrief. So this past week on Well Hello, I did 3 quick verses. I talked about 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, talking about the fact that you are not your own. You were bought with a price. And then I talked about Esther 4:14, whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this, when Mordecai was challenging Esther that her position as princess might be she might be there for such a time as to save the people of Israel. And then Genesis 5:20, you mean evil against me, but God means it for good. And I just was talking about our culture and the fact that it's important for us to understand that we were bought with a price. We're not our own. We were bought with a price, and the way that our culture is going and what it wants is not where we need to be. And then we have been placed here. We are living in the culture where we're at, and God has us here for a purpose. And that purpose may be to stand up and be counted. And we can't take that for granted. And we need to remember that God is sovereign. And when people mean evil towards us, God is sovereign. And if we are faithful to him, then he will keep us and accomplish his will. So, and then last night at youth group, James shared his testimony. Thank you, James. It's always good to hear how the Lord is working in the lives of the people around us. That brings it right down to earth, right where we're at. So that's good. All right. You got bedtime on the edge for us?
All
right.
right.
We're carrying on in the
Prisoner of the Ant People.
Yeah, in the
very interesting.
Choose
title.
Your Own Adventure.
All right, look at this. Okay. Okay, I don't know how to read this name, but Fliptoe and I work very well together. Is that right?
I don't know.
There's a lot of consonants squished together there.
Okay.
Fliptoe and I work together well. Rendoxol. Besides, it will be better if we have 2 search teams. So you go on your way, and we'll go on ours. Rendoxol shudders slightly, a sure sign of its displeasure, but it agrees. Go then, go on. You will be out of my way. In the blink of an eye, Rendoxol hits the miniaturizer button, and all 3 of you are instantly reduced, clothes and all, to the size of a grain of rice. The research chamber now looks like an enormous cavern, glimmering with a pale whitish light. Rendoxol rotates around on its axis to orientate itself. Then it's gone in a clattering, whining huff. Fliptoe moves over the remains of the Baba Ram's lunch. There are greasy wrappers from a tuna salad sandwich. The Babas consider an exotic delicacy from this planet Earth. Hey, look at this. Fliptoe points at a series of marks on the wrappers. They appear to have been made with a sharp instrument. Can you decode these marks? Asks Fliptoe. It looks like a message. So, if you think the marks are worth trying to decode, turn to the next page. If you decide that it's a waste of time, then we're turning to page 35. So should we decode them, or should we not waste our time and move on?
I think definitely decode.
Yeah, let's try and decode them.
Oh, yeah. Let's figure out what this is. All right. I'll try and decode them, you say. You look very intently at the strange marks on the wrappers. It's not easy. The marks look like this. So we've got 3 horizontal lines, 3 vertical lines, a whole bunch of weird symbols, something that looks like a snake, and something that looks like an explosion. Very interesting. They might be marks from a fork, for all you know. Then you remember a Martian symbol game Fliptoe taught you about. The most popular game on Mars, as popular as chess or checkers on Earth. This looks strangely like that game, but oddly enough, Fliptoe doesn't recognize it. 7 minutes later, you have decoded the message with his aid. It reads, We are in the grip of the evil power master. Help. From Luzina. Sorry, Rendoxal, but I'm not going to volunteer. You know the rules yourself, but let me remind you of them. Zondo Quest Team, Article 5, Section 32, Paragraph 11.
Yeah, go on.
No condition ever warrants leaving the research room empty. There must be a human member on duty at all times, whether human or not. Intelligence must be present.
Are we in trouble?
I feel like it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll lead the way, you say. Follow me, but be quiet, Flipto. Inside the crack, you see... Oops. Oh, what do you know? I'm sorry. I just completely...
You blew through a question?
Yeah, no, it just said at the bottom, turn to page 48, and then I went to page 15.
Okay, we'll go to 48.
So look at that. Okay, so we're not actually in trouble. There is no intelligence here. All right.
Well, we're good. We're good.
We're good. Don't
We're
worry
good,
about it.
guys. You can
Yeah.
sit back in your armchairs again.
Whew, had myself stressed out. That's still not 48. I went to 46. Okay. There we go. The evil power master again. I thought so. The puzzle, you puzzle over the note. Who could have written it? Who is Luzina? You see the body of a worker ant crumpled up underneath one of the sandwich wrappers. The ant is barely alive. With his dying breath, the ant whispers. They went into the ant's kingdom of Zom to help Luzina in her fight against the evil power master. I'm dying, but tell them I'll never forget. With a shiver, the ant dies. You turn and stare at Flipto. The ants? I never thought about them. Who would have? They seem so insignificant. Insignificant. I'll bet they're the ones who have been on the trail of the evil power master for hundreds of years. I'm game, Flipto. How about it? Shall we search for the kingdom of Zom? Flipto reminds you that you are not armed. So, do we want to search for the kingdom of Zom? Or do we want to go back to full size and arm ourselves and then search?
Sounds like it's safe to arm ourselves and then search.
That does sound...
Sounds
that
like
does
a safe
sound
way
safe.
to not die.
It's 57 minutes, and this is the last episode of the season. What are the two options?
Go back, arm yourself, or find the kingdom.
Let's full send. Find the kingdom.
Find the
Yeah,
kingdom.
let's do it. Let's do it.
We're full sending.
Oh, yeah. All right. Page 73.
We'll full send with everything.
With everything we've got.
We don't need to be armed. Oh, look at that. Starting it off confident. Okay, we don't need to be armed, Flipto. We're a human and a Martian. Besides, it can't hurt to just look around. I say let's get to it. Where do you want to start? Flipto answers, I suggest an ant hole. Where else? Very good, Flipto. Very good. You get a gold star for your effort. I wonder if they had gold stars with them.
I don't know.
Like, why wouldn't they arm themselves if they brought gold stars?
I don't know.
Seems kind of silly, doesn't it?
Yeah. A careful search of the surrounding area reveals a small crack in the wall, or in the far wall. No light shines inside, and you sense danger. But this must be the entrance. Turn to page 16.
Turn to page 60.
We're faced with more choices here. Okay, I'll lead the way, you say. Follow me, but be quiet, Flipto. This is what I started reading earlier.
Okay.
There. Inside the crack, you see a series of tunnels leading off in several directions. The largest tunnel has a faint reddish glow. Another tunnel glows yellow, and the third one glows white. Which one, Flipto? You choose, oh great earthling. We Martians don't appreciate choice, you know?
Whoa, that's weird.
That is weird. Why don't they appreciate choice?
I thought Martians were supposed to be higher intelligence.
I don't know.
Humans.
I don't
Not
know.
these ones. Should we keep going?
We gotta
See where
keep
this takes
going.
us?
Let's do one more.
One more?
Do us part.
All right. Are we taking the white tunnel, the yellow tunnel, or the red tunnel?
Which one
Red.
is most dangerous? I think
I'm thinking red. Red's dangerous. Let's go for it. All right.
It could be reverse psychologies,
It could be.
psychologizing us.
Well, let's go straight for the danger. Ooh, there we go. Let's go. This must be the main tunnel. Careful. Quiet as sunlight now. Oh, quiet as sunlight now. The reddish glow seems to warm the tunnel as well as lit it. The two of you creep down the tunnel. There is no trace of life. Suddenly, you hear a scuttling noise behind you. Yeah. That's never a good thing.
we might have done it.
You see a patrol of warrior ants dashing towards you. They pick you up and race down the main tunnel. Minutes later, you're in a huge central chamber. In the middle of the chamber is a giant ruby. Through the tiny hole of the roof of the chamber, a beam of sunlight hits the ruby, producing the reddish glow that floods the room. Come in. You will not be hurt. You're members of Zondo Quest team, are you not? You stare at the medium-sized ant standing behind the ruby. It's difficult to tell the age of the ant. The ant's voice, however, has the sound of age and experience.
Why do we want to tell the age of the ants?
They don't live very long, do they?
I don't know.
Only got a couple days life, I think. I feel like somebody's going to prove me wrong in the comments. Yes, we are from Zondo Quest team. Who are you? You ask in turn. Oh man, there's a lot of reading after this.
Maybe we're winning.
Maybe. All right, sorry. Got something in my eye here. All right. The ant leans forward, bending her head nearer and speaking firmly. I am Amma, advisor to our queen, Luzina, the greatest ant queen of all time. Ah, she's the one who needs help. Look at that. The fairest, the kindest, the smartest, and the kindest. This is her kingdom, the kingdom of Zom.
We found it.
The fairest ant? That's a thing? Fair?
I guess so. She's also smart and kind. More than 1 million subjects live in our anthill. This is the biggest, best organized, and most successful ant colony in history. Wow. That's impressive. You look at Flipto and give a slight wink. This ant is either Lucina's most dedicated follower or a public relations genius. Well, where is Luzina? And where are our friends Baba Ram Team and the Rimpoches? Emma points to the upper reaches of the chamber, where you see several tunnels. Luzina and your friends are all prisoners of the evil Power Master. And it's having me flip around a whole ton of weird pages. All right. The ant draws closer and speaks in a low, defeated whisper. Some say the evil Power Master will never give up until he destroys the universe. Others say all he really wants is fame. You can do nothing. Nothing. Do you hear? Amma scurries away. You are alone in the vast, empty chamber housing the ruby. It almost sounds as if she's been brainwashed, Flipto. Yes, you're right. Hey, what's this? Flipto is standing in front of a table next to the ruby. On it are several objects. A sword without a hilt, a golden rope, a magnifying glass, an empty book, nothing but blank pages. Also, there's a note which reads, "The Earthling must take one of these objects and leave the room, or I will destroy Luzina and everything else I choose. Signed, the Medieval Power Master, second in command for the Evil Power Master. P.S. You have a chance if you are clever." Oh. And then, from there, we're faced with the choice of what tool to choose.
Oh.
Darn it, I really thought we were going to get it finished off.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes after the hour. We're done.
I thought we were going to die, honestly.
Yeah.
When we picked that red tunnel.
We're never going to know. We're never going to know. All right. That was Bedtime on the Edge. We never finished the book. Announcements. Well, hello, it's morning this week. I could believe I'll be doing it. So there we are. Youth group this coming Friday is Oh Gnome, as in Garden Gnome. Look out for information on that. It should be coming out on Tuesday. The deal is we're going to put you into groups, and each group is going to have a garden gnome, and you're going to be sent on an adventure with your garden gnome. Do you want to do the next one?
All right. So, Bible studies, midweek Bible studies are up and running. So, junior high girls are on Monday at the church at 7 p.m. Senior high girls are off this week. Look at that.
I think so. Yeah.
Junior high boys on Tuesday at the church at 7 p.m. And senior high boys, check with Andy. So I think that's Sunday night, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I haven't heard back from people as to whether or not we can do it on Sunday night. So
all right,
we'll try and firm that up tomorrow, obviously. So
senior high boys, if you're watching this, get back to Andy.
Yep.
All right.
Church tomorrow morning at 9:15 and 11 a.m. And this is the last episode of This Is a Serious Podcast for this school year. So we'll get going again in September. Do you want to close us out in prayer?
All right. Dear God, thank you for bringing us all together today. Maybe not all physically, but virtually. Thanks for this opportunity to reach people with podcast, and hopefully we can be a light to the people around us, and we can encourage the people who see this. I pray for everyone watching this, all the people in the youth group. Pray that they'll have a great week and they'll feel you close this week. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you in September 2022 for the next episode of This Is a Serious Podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hard for me to breathe. I'm believing for your power, for a miracle in me. You are my praise, you are my God. I turn to you with all my heart. You are my praise, you are my God. We turn to you with all our hearts. This is our battle cry through the night. Let our spirits roar. This is our battle cry through
Yeah.